Hi everyone, welcome to my live creative time today. My name is Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. It's great to have you with me today. Now while everybody is jumping on, I will just bring this up on my iPad and my computer so that I can see all of your comments there. So as you're jumping on, say hi, let me know that you're here. And I am running a little bit late today. I was having so much fun playing that I lost track of time. So I will show you what I have been playing with very shortly. So just bringing this up so I can see all your comments there. There we go. Hey Tina Marie, how are you? Great to have you with us today. So as you're jumping on, say hi, let me know that you're here. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much for coming back. And if you would like to still leave a comment, then I will go back and check them. So feel free to do that. And if you're watching on my YouTube channel later when I upload this, thank you so much for visiting my YouTube channel as well. And feel free to leave a comment there also. Now, if you have friends who you think that might like to view some free creative time, who might like a little bit of inspiration, then feel free to share this video with them. That would be so great. I would really appreciate that. Hey Megan, how you going? Oh, you're on a live stream. All right, no worries. We will catch you as much as you can be here. Otherwise, we'll see you on the replay. All good. Alrighty, so let me bring this up on my iPad as well. I didn't do that yet. Okay, here we go. Good, good. All right, so everything is working today, which is awesome. So I have been playing with a few things. I will show you those in a minute. But while everyone is jumping on, let me know how your weekend was. What did you get up to? How was the weather where you are? We had, let me think, what did we have? I think we had a little bit of a mixed bag. We had a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of cloudiness, and yeah, I was inside for most of it. So I did a little bit of a tidy of the house. My back is improving. Thank you for all of those kind wishes and prayers. My back is improving. It's still not quite there, but it's a lot better than it was, and I don't have the level of pain I had before, so I'm able to move around a little bit better than I was. So I had a little bit of a tidy of the house. Now I'm being very careful about lifting and twisting and all those things still, but I had my trusty helper, Amber, my daughter, and so she was doing all the heavy lifting and shifting, and I was doing a lot of the directions. And I was just moving little bits and pieces, you know, paper and stamp sets and things like that. So I feel so much happier that it's a little bit more organized and tidy downstairs now, which is good. It was driving me nuts, but I couldn't do anything about it before because my back was so bad. I couldn't risk moving anything or shifting anything. Well, I actually even couldn't move well enough to do that anyway. So yeah. So very thankful for healing. Yes. So very thankful. Oh, you're juggling between me and the live stream, Megan. Ah, awesome. Well, that's good. Oh, yes, I did see Megan got to see one of her jazz heroes, James Morrison, on the weekend. She got to meet him and go to one of his shows that was local to her. So that was so exciting, Megan. What an awesome weekend. That's a great highlight to have. Super, super cool. That would have been so exciting. He is amazing. I think I've actually seen him in concert many years ago. It would have been back in the 80s or 90s, but it wasn't just him. He was playing with someone. Might have even been with John Farnham or something, because I saw a lot of John Farnham back in the 80s and early 90s. So he might have even been playing with him at one stage. I saw him somewhere anyway. So talented, that man. He's amazing. Hey Rose, how you going? Great to have you here with us today. Or you can't stay today, no worries. You have to deliver a birthday card to Jenny's husband, Gary, who I think you may know. Yes, Gary is my cousin. He's actually my cousin. So Jenny is my cousin by marriage, actually. So, oh, there you go. Well, I didn't know it was his birthday though. So there you go. So that lot of cousins was in South Australia and then moved to Tasmania. So I haven't had a lot to do with them growing up because we're here in Sydney, but sort of caught up with them a few times here and there, but hadn't really, they're still cousins, they're still relatives, but they're not ones that I know super, super well. Although I've got to know Jenny a bit better, more so than Gary really. So there you go. Bit of family history there. My family is actually spread out all over, but originally my mum's family and my dad's family were from country Victoria. But now they're sort of all spread, but some of mum's family went to South Australia, from country Victoria to South Australia. Some went to Melbourne. But now they're sort of all over. Some of them are up in Queensland, and we've got those that have moved down to Tassie, Victoria, and us in New South Wales. So we're kind of all down the east coast. None over in WA, I don't think. Oh, well, South Australia is on the west side, isn't it? Yeah. So the bottom west side. So yeah, we're everywhere. There's lots of us. We've got big families. My side of the family. Oh, Megan said she's been a fan of James Morrison since she was 13 and now she's 46, so work it out. So that is 33 years. Is my maths correct? I think it is. Yeah, that's a long time. Wonderful. So cool. That's probably about as long as I have been a fan of John Farnham. I think, or maybe longer. No, I think I've been a fan longer of John Farnham than you, Megan, because I'm a little bit older than you. Yes, 33 years. I got my maths correct. Amazing. I'm not so great at maths. Very good. All right, well, let me tell you a little bit about what is happening. We still have the Savings in Bloom promotion running at the moment, so remember that one. And our little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, our little mighty mini, as we like to call it, is 20% off at the moment for the month of April. So it's a great time to grab a fantastic, oh look, here's Jenny now. Hey Jenny, we were just talking about you and our family link. Rose was just saying that, yeah, she thought that I knew, or that I may know Gary, and I said, yes, I do. He's my cousin, and so Jenny is my cousin by marriage. So we're just talking about the family and how all the family are all spread out everywhere because we come from such a large family. Anyway, jumping back to Savings Are in Bloom. So not only is the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine on special at 20% discount, there are 13 Stampin' die sets as well that are also 20% off. So there's a couple of them as well. I think there's 3 sets that were individual products, so they're not actually bundled in the current annual catalogue, but for this promotion for April, Stampin' Up has bundled them back together again. They were bundled previously in a previous catalogue, but for this promotion, Stampin' Up has bundled them back together again and given 20% discount on the bundle. So that's awesome. And the other ones on there were some on there as well that were already bundled at 10%, but Stampin' Up has bumped that up to 20%, so you've got an added 10% discount on those at the moment. So check those out. If you go to my online store, and you'll see a promotion saying Savings Are in Bloom, or you can click on the sale tab, and that'll take you through to the Savings Are in Bloom. But definitely keep in mind the little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's a great little machine. So there we go. Hey Leslie, how are you? Great to have you with us. I am doing well, thank you. I was just saying I've been doing a little bit of a tidy over the weekend with the help of Amber, which has been wonderful. Did need to have a little rest afterwards. However, my back was a little bit sore. I probably did a little bit too much, but thankfully I haven't got that nerve pinching. So it's sore, but it's not to the point where I can't move, which is good. So much better than what it was. Yeah. Oh, Megan said she's still talking herself into getting this. Not sure I need it as I still have my big shot. Well, Megan, I have both. I have both the large machine. I've got my large machine right beside me actually in case I need that today, and the mini. But I find the mini really handy and lightweight that I can just grab it and pop it on my desk, or just keep it on my desk because it doesn't take up much space. And I find it really quick and easy for just doing those little dies, or yeah, I love mine. So, but you know, we do need to work within our budgets too. So always keep that in mind too. So if I'm promoting something, remember that I still do want you to always keep within your budget. And I just love my mini though. So I can highly recommend it, but you have to decide if it's right for you. All right, so that's the Savings Are in Bloom. Hey Sue, how you going? Great to have you with us. Sue says the mini is worth getting. She uses hers all the time. I do as well. In fact, I probably use my mini more now than I use my large die cutting machine. I tend to use my large one more if I'm prepping for classes, or just for the large rectangle dies, or you know, ones like that won't fit through the mini, or the larger embossing folders. But pretty much everything else I'm using the mini for most of the time now. So love my little mini, my little mighty mini. Hey Andrea, how are you? It's lovely to have you all the way from New Zealand. And it's wet over there, is it? We must have sent all of our rain over to you. We had so much rain the last few weeks. You've probably heard all about all the flooding and everything over here in Australia, down the east coast. Hopefully you don't get too much that you've got flooding though, because that was pretty horrendous, and there's so many people that have been affected by that, which has been absolutely terrible and devastating. Yeah, some of our family members also were affected by that too, which was terrible. So but hopefully you just have enough just to water the earth, and then hopefully it'll stop again. It's lovely to have you all with us. Look at everyone we've got today. That's so cool. Megan said, I'm thinking that if I'm working at the dinner table and the big shot takes up so much space, yes, then you need the mini. Definitely. Budget might not like it at the moment. Well, that's okay. It's on special until the end of April. So you've still got a little bit of time. Oh, sorry, end of March. Not end of April. We're in March, aren't we? Not April. The end of March. So we've still got, well, actually, the end of March is next week, isn't it? What's today? Today's the 21st. Today's the 21st of March, 2022. Can you believe that? So the end of March is actually next week. Next Thursday. So you've got a week and a half, Megan. There you go. Tina Marie said, Greg discovered today that his car flooded. Oh, no. Oh, we didn't realise that the flood water came in his car. Oh, no, when your yard flooded. I hope it hadn't gone mouldy or anything, had it? Are you able to dry it out? Okay. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, sorry to hear that. Andrea said, yeah, you guys had pretty bad flooding. Yeah, we did. Yeah. Thankfully not here at our house as such, but we didn't have to go far, and we were affected with road closures and all sorts of things. Had to be really, really careful. We're up a little bit higher, so we were okay right here at our house. Apart from our front garden, it flooded, but didn't flood into the house, so that was good. A little bit of water came in the garage, but nothing major. 26th is Saturday and the 5th anniversary of your dad's passing. Oh, so I'm very low at the moment. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I understand completely. I lost my mum a couple of years ago, and it was just the 2nd anniversary last month actually. And yeah, I understand how that feels. So that's terrible. I lost my dad when I was very young, but I still remember him every year on his anniversary of death and on his birthday as well, and other times as well, of course. But yeah, you never stop missing them, no matter how long it's been. So yeah, it's a very hard part of life, unfortunately. So my heart goes out to you, Megan. Take care and be kind to yourself, and just let the emotions come. Don't try and suppress them. That's my advice. But just be kind to yourself. Yeah. All right. Oh, Tina Marie said we're in the process of drying it out now, but the mold hasn't started yet because the water was still sitting in the car. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, hopefully you can get it dried out enough that the mold won't come, and you'll be all good. So yeah. Megan says, I remember my dad and grandparents for birthdays and the like too. Yeah, special times, hey. Yeah. Oh, you're very welcome, Megan. All right. Well, I have got some happy mail to share with you today. I received a beautiful card in the mail just today from a friend of mine who is also a demonstrator, and she's down in Tasmania. Talking of Tasmania, Jenny and Rose. She's a beautiful demonstrator I met through a training group for demonstrators, and her name is Kayla. So look her up. Her name is Kayla Renee, and she's a demonstrator, and she creates beautiful, beautiful projects. And this is one of her beautiful cards. And she was doing a challenge for this one, doing a simple stamping challenge for this one. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. And she's got all of these colors, and she's got this on her blog, actually, I noticed today. And she's posted that up on her business page as well, on her social media. But she explains on her blog, so if you look up Kayla Renee, it's R-E-N-E-E, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and she's got this one on her blog, but she used her Stamparatus to stamp the different colors of this one here, and it's really, really beautiful. And then she's got the font here in the background, and then the sentiment stamped over the top, and that gorgeous bling. Look at that bling. Isn't that beautiful? So thank you so much, Kayla. I really appreciated that. It was so lovely to hear from you. And she just popped me a little mail, just a little letter, or a little note, I should say, just to say hi, which was so lovely. So I really put a smile on my face. So be sure to send out your beautiful cards, because you never know when somebody might need a little bit of uplifting. I also received last week, on Tuesday it was, because I was just heading out to go and get my booster shot, which that's another story. Oh, that was okay, but I wasn't feeling too good the next day, but I'm all good now. But I received a beautiful bunch of flowers. You might have seen me post it yesterday, from my beautiful neighbours next door, which was really lovely. They knew I'd been struggling with my back and that I'd been laying low for a couple of months, and they just sent me a beautiful bunch of flowers to say they were thinking of me and they hoped that it was healing. And yeah, so just so beautiful. So just those little acts of kindness, and even just sending a beautiful card to somebody really can make a difference. So be sure that these beautiful cards that we are making, make sure you are sending them out to people, even if it's just to say hi, and especially if you know that somebody is having a hard time, going through hard times, or you know, things like that. Be sure to send those beautiful cards. So yeah, everyone says it's very nice. Hey Helen, how are you? Great to have you with us. Yeah, it's very pretty, isn't it, everyone? Yeah, everyone's saying there that it's very pretty. Everyone loves your card, Renee. Renee. Here I go. Kayla Renee. Thank you so much. Megan's crafting along today. I forgot to ask, who is crafting along with me today? Are you crafting along, or are you just sitting back watching and enjoying? We always have a little chat first, and then we get into the crafting. Everyone likes to say hello and let me know what they've been up to. Oh, you're about to ask how she did the colors. Yes, she did. I think she said she did 4 different colors, and she did them on the Stamparatus one at a time. So but you can do it. I've done a technique like that in my technique class, and actually we're going to be doing a technique, well, we're actually doing the same technique but using something completely different today, just using sponge daubers and adding different colors onto our stamp. There's a few different ways you can do it, so yeah, I'll teach you that today if you don't already know how to do this technique, or maybe you do know how to do this and you love doing it too. Helen says she's great. You eventually got some rain today. Oh, there you go. That's good. That's good. As we were saying before about the rains, hopefully it won't be too much, just enough to water everything and fill up the dams and things, and then hopefully it'll stop and not continue like what we had, because that was awful. Hey Fee, how you going? Fee is crafting along. She's getting ready for her next class. So there you go. That's awesome. Very good, very good. And Tina Marie is crafting along with us as well. So we've got a few crafting along with us today, which is super cool. Let me share with you what we're going to be playing with today. We are playing with the Waves of the Ocean products. There they are there. Hang on, I'm going to get rid of the comments on my screen. There we go. There they are there. And here's all the individual products. Now, these ones, the stamp set and the dies, are going to be carrying over into the annual catalogue. However, the paper, the foil paper and the embellishments are only available while supplies last. Now, it says that the promotion is going up until the 2nd of May. However, if those papers and those embellishments sell out before then they'll be gone for good. So if you've got your eye on these, then don't delay. Make sure you get them while they are still available. The stamp set and the dies, you've got a little bit more time because they'll be around for a little while longer. But they are gorgeous. They are, this is a beautiful bundle. So this is what I've been playing with today, and that's why I was late, because I was having so much fun playing that I lost track of the time. And then I thought, oh, I better eat. And thankfully Amber made me some lunch, which was lovely. She's always looking after me, which is really wonderful. She's a good assistant and a very good daughter, looking after her mum. So I'm a little bit inky today. My fingers are, I don't know if you can tell, they're a little bit, see my blue thumbs? So I've been playing with all the blues today, creating those beautiful waves. So how about we get started? We'll get crafting. Oh, Tina's got her paper and her bling. Yes, I'm going to show you all those products when we tip the camera down, but she has ordered this paper and the bling that coordinates with this product collection, which is super awesome. They're so beautiful. So all good. All right, Amber is amazing. Yes, she is, Tina Marie. You are so right. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do, I'm just moving a few things here. I'm going to tip the camera down, and you'll notice something different on my desk today when I do that. So let me cover up. I've got new washi tape. Remember my washi tape fell off last week? I've got new washi tape, so it's slightly different this time. It's floral. This is a retired washi tape. This used to be a Stampin' Up one, actually. It was a retired one, really pretty. But I'm going to cover up the camera. I'm going to flip it down to the desktop and we'll get started. All right, here we go. Let me cover up. I'll do a little flippity flip and I'll stand up to adjust my camera now that I am able to do that. It's amazing the things you take for granted when things are normal. And then, actually, I think I've got to bring that out a little bit further. Hang on one sec. And then when you're unwell, or in my case, my back was shot to pieces and I couldn't move, you really do notice the difference, and then you're so thankful for the small things, such as being able to stand up out of your chair. There you go. And move the camera and the lighting. There we go. So who notices what's different today on my desk? Who can tell me? Who's the observant ones today? I'll get rid of this because we don't need that washi tape now. That I was filming a class on the weekend and I had that there for that, so I knew where I needed to have all my bits and pieces. All right. So can you see what's different today? Grid paper. Yes, Megan, you're the winner. Good job. Yes, and Tina Marie got it too, grid paper. Exactly. Yep. We are using grid paper today because I'm using my large grid paper. Normally I use my small grid paper on my Facebook Lives. Well, lately I have been. But we are going to get a little bit inky today. So I thought I would put this one down so that we keep my desk nice and clean. I even got ink on my desk this morning when I was playing, or this afternoon I should say. All right, so these products that I'm showing you today can be found in my online store, and you can find my online store via my blog, which is mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com. Now, you know what I need to do? I need to actually blue tack my grid paper down so that it doesn't move while we are creating, because otherwise we'll end up all wonky badonkus, and that's going to annoy everybody, including me. There we go. So yes, so you can find anything that I show you today in my online store. So be sure to check that out via my blog. And if you're shopping with me, then if you use my host code, this is my March 2022 host code, and your order is over $50, I will send you a thank you gift. So all orders receive a thank you card from me, but if you spend over $50, you'll also get a gift. So keep that in mind when you are shopping. Alrighty, let's have a look at these gorgeous, gorgeous products. So let's start with the stamp set and the dies. All right, so this stamp set, I'll start with the stamp set first. This stamp set is beautiful. So you've got this big wave. Now these images on the front are only shown at 90%. So the actual size of the stamps is a bit bigger than this. Because I realized that too when I was putting the stickers on these stamps, and I went to put them back in the case, and I thought, oh, the wave doesn't fit across the case because it's actually a little bit too long. So I had to put it inside the case up the other way. Now, I only just pulled these products out today to play with. I got them a week or two ago, but I hadn't had a chance to play with them yet until today. So today's the first day that I've been playing with these. And I realized there's so many different ways that you can even just stamp the wave. So I'm going to show you a few of those today. Got this cute pelican as well. Love pelicans from a distance. Don't like to get up too close because they can be a bit snappy. But I love watching them. They're really interesting birds to watch. So I love this. And the fonts, oh, they're just so gorgeous. I love this one here. Your strength is an inspiration. I love how they've combined these fonts, these different fonts. We've got You're So Totally Awesome. Our Friendship is a Thing of Beauty. And we've got a plain happy birthday, because we always need a happy birthday, don't we? And of course, we've got this little bird flying as well, which to me looks like a seagull or something like that. So that's the beautiful stamp set. It is a red rubber cling stamp set, which is awesome. Red rubber cling stamp sets, they've got the foam built into them, so they give a great impression. They're really easy to clean. I've made myself as well a little, oh my goodness, what do you call it? Mask, a little mask and I've just kept that just inside there as well. I'll show you how you can use that. How you can create your own mask and use that. So that's the stamp set. Then we've got the gorgeous dies. So these are called Waves dies. And these I haven't yet played with. I was mainly playing with the stamp set today, or was only playing with the stamp set. So I haven't played with the dies yet, so we might have a play with those today. But we've got these two gorgeous waves, and they do cut out the paper a little bit differently, each one of those. So we can have a little play with those. Just move that light back a little bit. It's reflecting off that stamp case a little bit too much. Don't want to give everybody a headache. Got some beautiful sentiment labels here as well. We've got some clouds with some cloud detail. We can die cut out the pelican on the posts. We've even got some bird die cuts there as well, which is awesome. And they are larger than the stamp of the little bird, so these are like additional ones. So how cool are those dies? They're really awesome. So if you purchase both the dies and the stamp set together as a bundle, you will get 10% off. And I always recommend to do that rather than buying one now and one later. You'll end up paying full price. And I love to help you maximize your value and get the best deals. So purchase them together as a bundle, save yourself 10% because then that's an additional 10% back in your pocket. All right, so that's the stamp set and the dies. Then we've got, hang on a minute, I've got to move my samples. I have some samples to show you. The gorgeous paper. Oh my goodness, I only opened this a couple of days ago with Amber and we were going through all the beautiful designs. I think we opened it on Friday. Maybe it only came last week. No, it came the week before, but we hadn't opened it. So this is the Waves of the Ocean 12 by 12 designer series paper. And we've got some different colors in here. We've got Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Night of Navy, Pacific Point, and Petal Pink. So how gorgeous are these papers? Now I'm going to show you the front and the reverse side of each one of these so that you can have a little look. Oh, Megan said she's been bitten on the backside by a pelican, so she's not fond of them. Oh no, that would have been painful. Naughty pelican. So these papers were actually created by the paint pouring technique. So they were created onto canvas using paint pouring technique and then photographed and then color corrected so that they were in the Stampin' Up specific colors. You might have seen, if you follow Shelley Gardner, the Stampin' Up CEO, she posted a video of exactly how these were made just last week. And they're really, really beautiful. So I'll do it this way. So that's the front and that's the back. Okay, so we've got this beautiful Coastal Cabana. And that's the front of the next one. And that's the back. Is that right? Yep, that's right. And it's interesting because when Amber and I were looking at these, hang on a minute, I need to move my mouse. When Amber and I were looking at these papers, we were seeing different things in the design. Like we were seeing fish and whales and turtles and eels and all sorts of things. If you look, depending on how your mind works, we're a bit abstract. But yeah, you can see all different colors. This one to me looks like a turtle shell. Don't you think that looks like a turtle shell? Or even the turtle skin. Really beautiful. Love that. And you can see where the Granny Apple Green's coming into it there as well. And this is the reverse side. Great colours, aren't they, Kim? Hey, Kim, I just saw that you jumped on. Great to have you with us. Is this your first time with us today, Kim? Let me know. I've not actually seen you on one of my lives before, but it's so lovely to have you. So this is the front and this is the back. But yeah, you can, oh look, there's a little tadpole swimming there. Can you see that what bit there looks like a tadpole to me? So if you look really closely at all of the designs, you'll see different things. Oh, I think this was the one, this is the one that we saw. I saw a dolphin up here and a stingray down here, and there were different fish, and one of them there was a whale. It turned up the other side, maybe it's up the other way, maybe it's a whale. But yeah, just really interesting how you can see all different things in the papers. This one's pretty too, isn't it? That'd be great for a background sunset or something. You love the blues, Megan? Yeah. You're a blue-green girl, aren't you, Megan? I bet you love this one with the blue and the green in it. So pretty, isn't it? Look at this one. This one's very bright. This one's got the daffodil and what's this one got in it? Daffodil Delight and Petal Pink. This one's got a little bit of Petal Pink in it as well and white. Aren't they great? They're so beautiful. So many different different colors and different patterns in there. But yes, the blues, I agree with you, Megan. I love all the blue ones. I think they're just gorgeous. And this one, I love this one too. This one that reminds me of turtles. So yeah. Megan says, I love the canvases that Sarah had. Whoops, I've just lost your comment. Where did that go? Had on Facebook. Yeah, they looked great, didn't they? And the original, as I said, the original canvases were oh, that's right. Thank you, Amber. Yes, Amber is reminding me something that I did write down and I forgot to mention. I knew I would. I didn't have my sticky note in front of me. I'll come back to that. Megan said she's getting the paper, the foil, and the bling. Definitely get that. Yes, fantastic. Amber's reminding me to tell you all about my upcoming class, which I will tell you about in a moment. Tina Marie said, I am a Smurf. Well, I do love Smurfs. I used to collect them when I was younger. It's a teal colour, Tina Marie said. Oh, I'm not sure which one you saw that you said was a teal colour. Is that the greeny bluey one? This one? No. That's the Coastal Cabana one. This one? Is this the one? Not sure which one you were referring to. I missed your comment as I was showing them. Oh, Megan says she has to duck out for a bit. No worries, Megan. Catch you on the replay. Andrea said, could add some gold leaf to some of them. Oh, that would be beautiful, Andrea. Great idea. That would look awesome. Tina Marie said, could you please share the Shelley video link of how the papers were made? Yeah, I can share that. Sure. I can share that perhaps later today after this. I've done this one. You can find it on... it was actually Sarah, not Shelley. Did I say Shelley before? I meant Sarah Douglas. You can actually look it up on her Facebook page. She's got a public Facebook page, Sarah Douglas, S-A-R-A. But I can also share that too. Yes, I haven't done that yet. Greeny blue. Oh, the washi tape was teal colour when I covered up the camera. Ah, okay. All right. Oh, Megan's finding the link for you, Tina Marie. Thanks, Megan. She's going to post it up for us. All right. So now I'll show you the foil paper. These are the blue foils, 12 by 12. Now, these are always a little bit tricky to show on camera because of the reflection. So you're probably going to see me and you'll see my camera or my phone filming. But I'll bring these out to show you. We might use some of these today as well. So we have Night of Navy and Coastal Cabana as well as silver. So this is the Coastal Cabana. This is the navy, and you get 2 sheets of each, and then you've got a matte silver. So the Coastal Cabana and the Night of Navy are like shiny, and then you've got the matte silver that goes along with them. And you can see me. Hello. You can see my double chin too. Aren't they gorgeous? Bit hard to see. Yeah, a bit hard to see on camera because they reflect everything. But so I won't hold them too long there because they will reflect the light. And also too, we've got these beautiful Rhinestone Waves Basic Jewels. And I love, love, love the colours in these. I'll take them out of the packet so you can see them, or out of the plastic. Hang on a sec, so I can get a hold of them. Doesn't tell me the colours, but I think it's in the same colours. So we've got Night of Navy, Balmy Blue, Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, and this one I think is just Jade. I think it looks like that. Really hard to tell the colours on camera, the true colours, but believe me, they are absolutely gorgeous. I'm trying to tilt them so you can see. So you've got the bluey greens going on there. Yeah, sort of like opal colours, aren't they? Hard to see on camera the true colour, but in person they are gorgeous. So there we go. So that's all the products. And as I said, they are going to be available. Here's my little sheet here they're available now until the 2nd of May. Now you can buy the entire collection. If you love all of those, you can buy the entire collection just with one code, and I'll give you that code The code is 161797, Waves of the Ocean collection, and that'll give you everything that I've just shown you. Or you can purchase them individually. So you've got the stamps and the die bundle. Remember, save yourself 10% and get them together as a bundle. Then you've got the designer series paper, the blue foils pack, and the wave rhinestones, which these three are only available while supplies last. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Megan. Megan's just posted up the link to that video where Sarah showed how the designer series paper was made. Thanks so much, Megan. That's awesome. Andrea said looks similar to the peacock foils. Yes, they do actually. They're quite similar in color, I think. I'm just trying to remember. I think, did the peacock foils have a different color in them as well? Can't remember. Or it might have been I think they had an extra green in them too. Fee says she loves them. Yes, they're beautiful. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Now, the thing that I needed to remind you of is, which Amber reminded me that I needed to remind you, is that I have got a fun fold class coming up, and the RSVP date is tomorrow, the 22nd of March. So that's when registrations are going to close, tomorrow night, 22nd of March 2022. We're going to be using the Sweet Symmetry Designer Series paper, and we are making fun fold cards. So we're going to make 3 different types of fun fold cards using the beautiful Sweet Symmetry paper. There's information in my business page. Actually, let me just grab the link to the registration form, and I can post that right here. Where are we? Okay, Sweet Symmetry Fun Fold class. Let me just copy that, and I'll post that in the comments. There you go. All right. Did that post just then in the comments? Yep. Okay, so did that come up? There we go. All right, so you can see the there's a link there to the registration form. I've just popped in the comments. You can click on that if you're unsure about the class. You can click on that to have a look at the class to see. Oh, I've popped 2 links there. That's okay. Either one of those links will take you to the Sweet Symmetry. In fact, on my computer, I can actually see the link has popped up with an image as well. You can click on either of those. They'll both take you through to the same form, which is the registration form, but it's also got all the information there too. So if you're unsure, just clicking on that link won't register you. You have to complete that form, and then you have to make a payment. So feel free to click on the link and have a look. And as I said, it closes tomorrow, so don't miss out on that. It's going to be a great class with those beautiful fun folds. I had so much fun designing those. Was super great. Now also too, right now is a great time to join Stampin' Up, which I didn't mention either, because we've got a brand new catalog coming up, and we get to see the PDF. We get a sneak peek of that this coming Wednesday, the 23rd. Well, actually it'll be Thursday for us here in Australia, the 24th of March, as we get it a day later because we're in the future. So American demonstrators get to see it on the 23rd. Australian demonstrators get to see it on the 24th, or very late, maybe very late in the evening on Wednesday, the 23rd. So we get to see them as demonstrators. So we get a sneak peek of the catalog. And we've already had a sneak peek of the brand new in colors coming, well, 3 of the brand new in colors coming in the demonstrator Facebook group, which is only accessible to us. So I'll be sharing those in time, probably next week. I'll share those with you. Yeah, super, super exciting time to join. And it's only $169. And you can choose $235 worth of product and get free shipping on your starter kit. So if you would like more information on that, be sure to let me know, and I'd be happy to give you some more information about that. All right, so let's jump into our project. So I have been playing with the Stamparatus. So this stamp, the Wave stamp, is a really large stamp. As I said, the image on the front of the cover is only at 90%. So the actual image is larger. Now, if you don't have a Stamparatus, you will need a largest block that Stampin' Up! Has, and it's this monster here, the F block. It is a really, really large block, as you can see by the size of my hand. This is the one that you need to fit this stamp, okay? All the other stamps in the set will fit on smaller blocks, but this one you need the largest block or a Stamparatus. So it's your choice which you would like to use. I have found this really really great to use today because I have been playing with so many different colors and I've been laying colors on top of each other. So I found this really great because the stamp stays in position the whole time. I've been using my magnets, keep my cardstock in place, which reminds me I need to grab some more cardstock actually. I forgot to do that before I went live. And yeah, it keeps your stamp in place while you're stamping those images. So let me grab that cardstock. And alrighty, so I just grabbed a stack of white. I used up everything that I'd cut this morning. And I'll show you some of the samples that I've created first before we start playing. I'll show you some of the samples that I created. So I was playing with different ways of stamping the wave. So the first one I did was this one. So using a few different colors. So the colors that I've been playing with today are basically all of the blues and Coastal Cabana. Now I've got them out of order. I did have them in color order earlier because you know that's how I roll. I like to have everything organized and in color order. So I've got Coastal Cabana because I liked a little bit of that lighter color brought in to the wave. I've got the Balmy Blue, Misty Moonlight, Pacific Point, and Night of Navy. And I was playing with different color combinations of that one. So I really like the color combination that I got with this combination. And I actually wrote on the back which ones I used so that I would remember to show you how to do that. Then, Judy says she still hasn't set up her Stamparatus. She's put it in a safe place. Do the magnets come with it? Yes, the magnets will be stored underneath the bottom, Judy, and you have to keep them apart because if they snap together, they're very, very strong magnets. If they snap together, one, they're very hard to get apart, but two, they can also shatter. They are a very strong magnet, but they're made of a very soft material. So I've got mine wrapped in washi tape, one, to protect them. Two, to protect my fingers in case I do happen to get them a little bit too close and they snap together, because if they pinch your finger, it really, really hurts. And three, with the extra washi tape, it helps me to pick up the magnets. So, yeah, but I've got them protected with the washi tape in case they ever do snap together and they break, then I won't get the shards of metal going everywhere. But yeah, just keep them separate and then you can store them underneath. I usually just use one at a time, but today I was actually using two at a time. So that's where you'll find your magnets. There are replacements available too if you happen to break them. They could also break if you drop them onto a hard surface as well. Yes, they do snap together very, very easily. Yep. All right, so that was my first sample. So I haven't cut off any of the top of this yet. I just sort of cut down the sides there. So that was my first sample. Then I thought I'd try with a little bit, let me move this out of the way for a minute. I'd try with a little bit of, so I did all the colors first, and then I thought I'd try with a little bit of white embossing powder over the top, but it really took away from the colors. So it washed everything out. Ha ha ha. I'm being punny and I didn't even mean to be. It did wash out all of the color. So that didn't work as well unless you're looking for a very foamy effect. Like if you're wanting to depict a foamy sea, you know, because sometimes the sea can be quite foamy. then that would work. But it was the colors, similar colors to that, then with the white embossing powder over the top. But yeah, I didn't like that one as much. Oh, Fee has four magnets. Who had 4? Someone said they had 4 Oh, Andrea said she has 4 magnets now. Fee says she has 3. Oh, that means one broke. Did you lose one? Oh, I missed your comment there, Andrea. You have 4 magnets now. Yeah. They snapped together. Yes. You got to be so careful about that. Now, my computer is about to die. The battery is about to die. So give me a sec. I'll plug that in. Forgot to check the battery on that. I checked the battery on everything else before I went live. See, I was just too into my playing today with my new goodies that I completely just forgot to check everything today. Hang on a sec. I've got to stretch this over a long distance because my computer's at the far end to where the extension cord is. Hang on a sec. Let's get this plugged in. That's one end. What can we unplug? Let's we'll unplug the heat tool for a moment. Give me a sec. Oh boy. There we go. All right. Ka-chink. All right. I think we're all good to go. Oh, nearly lost my water bottle in the process. Okay. We're all set. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay. Fee said, and if you get them stuck together, talking about the magnets, if you get them stuck together, put them onto the back of the Stamparatus in the bit where they live. So she's talking about in here. And then slide the top one across to separate them. Oh, that's a good tip. I've not had that happen. I actually have never had mine snap together. But yeah, that's a great tip, Fee. So pop them in here and then slide that top one away. Yeah, cool. Judy said there was so much sea foam there where she lives, because she lives on the coast, in the last storm that it was 12 meters thick in some places. Oh my goodness. Out at Witherby Beach. Covered all our beautiful rock pools where I used to take the boys, and went a block past the houses. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. So that would be a good one. That would be a good one for that then. Wow. That's amazing. So it churned up the sea so much. So then once I did that one, I thought, well, hang on a minute. What if I did it like a night scene? So then I just used my Versamark ink and white embossing powder on Night of Navy cardstock. And then I just splattered some Wink of Stella in the background to look like stars. And I actually really like that one. I thought that is great for a night ocean card. So I'm going to keep that one because I'll probably use that. Oh, Judy said she'll send photos when she gets back. Okay, cool. I'd love to see it. Sounds really awesome. You like the night scene? Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? In the starry, starry sky as well. So I thought, well, that one would work. And that was really easy to create. So, and I think all we really need is a sentiment. Yeah, and maybe some extra bling. Oh, you love the night scene as well, Tina Marie. Oh, good. Hey, Julie, how you going? Great to have you with us. That's okay. No worries. You can always watch the replay of the beginning part later. Yeah, so I really liked that one. So that was my next sample. Then I did another one similar to this, but I did different colors. And this time I started out with Night of Navy. And Night of Navy just on its own was so dark. So then I went back over it with some of the other lighter colors. I used a little bit of, I think I used Pacific Point and Misty Moonlight. And then I got my daubers out, because then I thought, well, hang on, you can still see a lot of white through there. Then I got my daubers out and colored in with some of the Misty Moonlight and Balmy Blue and a little bit of Coastal Cabana as well, just in the that part of the wave there where it curls over. And yeah, and I really liked how that one turned out too, with that added little bit of color in there. And then I went one step further, but I ended up mucking this one up. It was turning out well, but then I mucked it up in the end, but that's okay. I thought, what if I stamped some colors and then created a mask, created my wave, and then created a mask, which I did, put the mask over the top and then created a background. And I was creating the background, and then I wanted to bring in a little bit of purple into the sky, but I should have added the purple before I added the yellow, because then it kind of went a little bit brown in the top part of the sky, to create a bit of a sunset. But what I did with this one, I don't know if you can see, but I actually went over the colors in clear embossing powder. But which one was it? That one? Yeah, it was this one. What I did was I inked up with Versamark first, then added the ink to my stamp and then stamped it. I think what I would do next time is stamp all the colors first, like I did with this one, and then stamp Versamark over the top and then clear embossing powder, which I think is what we're going to do this time. So there's just a few ideas that I was playing with today, just to get started. As I said, it's the first day I've played with this stamp set. Haven't even touched the dies yet. So, yeah. That's a perfect crest wave for your nephew and his company, Crest V Media. Oh, there you go, Judy. So this is the stamp set, Waves of Inspiration. There you go. Yeah, and when I went back over with the colors, I wasn't watching. I looked away for a moment, and I did. I went out of the wave lines there with the blue, so I did muck this one up a little bit, but that's okay. This was my test sample. So yeah, so they're all the different ones that you can, all the different things that you can do, and there's so many other different ways that you can use it as well. But how about we create one like this, and then we might add a bit of the clear embossing over the top. So let's do that, and then I think I'm going to create something with this as well, and I'll pop that up onto my Facebook page. So there's just a few different ideas. Oh, to create I'll show you how I created the mask to then go back over and do the background. So what I did is I stamped the wave first in my desired colors, and I did this one in lighter colors. And then what I did is I stamped onto a piece of my grid paper, I stamped the wave again, just in dark colors. I then cut around just inside the edge of the stamped image to create a mask. I popped a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue just in 2 spots here, and I realized I needed a bit more down here. And I'll actually do that now because I'll show you. With the multi-purpose liquid glue, you have a spreader end. Most people don't know about this, or some people don't know about this, because usually we use the fine tip. But if you go to the other end, this is actually a spreader end. And this glue is great for gluing all your projects, but it's also can be used as a repositionable glue, because when it dries, so I'll just add a little bit on there, we don't want too much. When it dries, it becomes tacky and it stays tacky. If ever you've had a little bit of over gluing or it's oozed out a little bit, you'll know that that you have a little bit of tackiness left on your project. So, but it works great for making masks. So if you pop a little bit of glue on, I've just got 3 little bits. You don't want to cover the whole thing because you don't want it to be too sticky. So just 3 little sections of glue there. I'll let that dry. It'll become tacky like these other ones. And as you can see, that bit up there is already tacky and it sticks to my finger, but it's not too tacky that I can't release it. So that's how I created a mask. Then I've just popped glue on there, which I don't think that's gone. Oh, it has gone tacky. It's dried already. Okay. So then what I did is I popped it over the stamped image. So I already had stamped that, popped it over the stamped image. Then I brought in my blending brushes and created my blended background. Okay, and then you can remove your mask and then you've got your wave there. So that's how I did that one. We may or may not do that on this one. We'll see. And then I added my little birdies. So there you go. So that's how you can do that. So there's a few ideas. But let's create another one of these. So I need to cut some cardstock. So I'll just quickly do that. All right, so I've got a card front size piece, and we'll bring in our stamparatus. and I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, as I said, if you don't have the Stamparatus but you've got a large block, you can still do a rendition of this technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my, I've got in my, and I'll be careful to keep these magnets apart. So in my Stamparatus, it comes with a foam mat, but because I'm using the red rubber cling stamps, they already have the foam built into them, so we don't need the foam mat. So I've removed the mat. You only use the mat when you're using photopolymer stamps. Okay, so I've removed the mat to expose the grid, but I like to protect my grid here from getting ink on it because I might be doing a little bit of over stamping. So I'm just using a little bit of the small grid paper, which is made for this, or you can just cut down a piece of scrap paper or cut down a piece of your larger grid paper. All right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up where I've been lining it up all day. You can see I've already got a little bit of ink over here. Now, a trick when you're using the Stamparatus is never to have your cardstock all the way up to the edge, because along that edge where that hinge is, you don't have much give in the plate. So it's hard to push your stamp down onto your cardstock right there near the hinge. So have it a little bit away from the hinges and you'll get better, a better inked image. Alrighty, so let me see what colors. Oh, if you've been having trouble using your Stamparatus, that could be. Oh, I've twisted your arm with this stamp set, Judy. That's awesome. That's great. Now remember, Judy, too, the dies, which are beautiful, and they've got these gorgeous waves. They cut out different. We'll have a little play with those later. So if you need to leave to go off to Bible study, make sure you come back and watch the replay, because we'll have a little bit of a play with those to see how they cut, because they cut different waves. And you've got the clouds, you've got some labels, some birds, and you can cut out the pelican on the pole as well. So be sure to check them out. When you buy the stamp set and the dies together, you'll save yourself 10% rather than realizing down the track, oh, I actually want those dies now, and then paying full price for both. Yeah, you save a little bit of money that way. All right. So for this one, I started out with Misty Moonlight. So we're going to be using Misty Moonlight, a little bit of Night of Navy, some Coastal Cabana, and some Pacific Point. Don't think we have any balmy in this one. All right, so I'm going to start with my Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to ink up my stamp. Now, when you put your plate down, because there's a little bit of a gap under there and it's a little bit sort of pliable, it is a great idea if you pop a stamp case, just pop a stamp case underneath your plate, underneath where your stamp is, and that'll give you a nice flat surface. And then that way, it makes it so much easier to be able to ink up your stamp. Now this is a distinctive stamp, so you've got all the different shadings and opacities, different opacities in the stamped image. All right, so we're going to ink that up with the Misty Moonlight. Now, I'm showing you one way of doing this technique because we're using the Stamparatus. But if you didn't have the Stamparatus, you could take your daubers direct to your stamped image right in that first stamping. Okay, but I'm going to be stamping multiple times. All right, so that's the wave that we get already in the Misty Moonlight, which looks amazing. So beautiful. But we're going to add a little bit more color to that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I have got a whole stack of daubers here, one for each of these colors, and we're going to add a little bit of color. So I'm going to add a little bit of Night of Navy, and I'm going to add, pop that over here, a little bit of Night of Navy. Now, if you ever look at a wave, or the photos that I've been looking at of waves, the waves are darker at the bottom and then they're lighter where it curves over, obviously because of the way the light is reflecting off the water. So I'm going to put a little bit of Night of Navy along this bottom part here, okay, where it would be darker, and maybe a little bit up here, okay, and then we can stamp that again. Now, as I said, if you don't have the Stamparatus, you can just do all of these different color inks all at one time onto your block. Okay, so that just gives us a little bit more depth of color just in there. If you're not happy that it's not dark enough, you can go back in and add a bit more. And the reason that we're adding it with the dauber is because we want it to be a little bit softer. We don't want the color to be too harsh. If we were to go to take our ink pad to it, it would be very harsh, but also too, you might get the lines of the edge of the ink pad. All right, so it's a little bit darker there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of Pacific Point. So we'll pop that one over there. Oh, I actually used the wrong dauber for that. I just realized I used my Pacific Point dauber. Hang on a sec, where's my scrap paper? I used my Pacific Point dauber in my Night of Navy. We'll just get that off there. I'm being careful not to get that on my wave. Hang on, I'll do that over here, because that's a darker color. There we go. Because the Pacific Point is lighter in color. In fact, I'm going to do that again. Let me grab this time my Night of Navy dauber, because it'll already have a lot of ink on it. So I'll just add a little bit more of that deep color there. I'll do that again. Give a nice firm press. There we go, that's better. Okay, good. All right, now we'll put the Night of Navy aside and we'll bring in the Pacific Point. And the Pacific Point we're going to add, a little bit of Pacific Point in here and there on the wave. Okay, you just want it here and there. So you're going to have different colors going through that wave. So they're not kind of consistent. You don't want them sort of looking consistent. Okay, so we might add a little bit more of that one, the Pacific Point. We're just layering up the colors. And because I've got, oh, hi Cameron. Oh, he's gone now. I missed him. Sorry, Tina. I had my head down. I missed him today. Because I've got my two magnets there, that's what I was going to say. My stamp is staying in place. Okay, great. So we're starting to get a little bit of color. All right, now what we can do is we're going to add a little bit of Coastal Cabana. Now just keep in mind when you're doing this, because we've already got some dark color on our stamp here. I'm going to just ink that off first before I use the Coastal Cabana, because I don't want to take the blues into my Coastal Cabana ink. So I'm just going to stamp off the excess and I'll give that a clean with my chamois before I stamp the next color. With the blues it's okay, unless but if you're doing a lighter color, you start with the lighter colors first and then go darker. I actually started with Misty Moonlight, which was my mid color, and then I added the darker and the brighter blue. But if I was stamping in, if I was wanting to stamp a balmy blue wave, I would start with the balmy blue and then add the darker colors. There we go. All right, so now we'll add a little bit of, we'll just dry that off actually. Dry that off back onto my scrap. Make sure that's going to stamp onto my scrap. There we go. Oh, I'm getting, oh, look at my hands from my, from my chamois. I need to wipe out my chamois. Hang on, I'll just wipe my fingers for a minute. I've just got that off my chamois, I think. Should have had gloves on today, shouldn't I? I'll have to be careful of that when I go to pick up my piece. All right, so now I use a little bit of Coastal Cabana, and I want the tip of my wave and the inside of the barrel to be lighter in the coastal. And then you can just add a little bit here and there as well. All right, it is lots and lots of fun, yes. adding all these colors and getting inky in the process. There we go. So now we're starting to get a little bit of that color. I was tempted to try Bermuda Bay, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be too bright. The Coastal is just a little bit softer. And of course, this will depend on how inky your ink pad is as well, as to how much color you get on there. Okay, so we're starting to color that up a little bit now. So we'll just keep adding that color. Oh, I keep on going to add the color directly to the stamped image, and then realize, oh no, not yet. We can do that. We can do that in a little bit, but I want to get it into the actual stamped image itself. Oh, there we go. Look, now we're starting to get that greeny. Can you see how I'm starting to get now that greeny color there in the barrel of the wave? That's coming up good now. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to keep going back in with the ink and just add that extra color. Add a little bit more. Bring it down here a little bit too. Alrighty. This is why it's great to have the Stamparatus to do this, because you can keep adding your colors. There, that looks awesome. Great. I just might add a little bit more up here and a little bit down here as well. Just adding it randomly. Now you will get more intensity with color using a dauber rather than a sponge. A blending brush. The blending brush gives you a much softer finish. There, yeah, that's looking good. So I do like, when I'm doing this technique, I do like to use a dauber. You get a better intensity of color. Yeah, so add a little bit of the color in there too. Might add a little bit more just up here. So just keep having a look at your stamped image to see if you're getting the color that you wanted. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that looks pretty good. A little bit more here. Lots of re-inking. Good for your arm muscles, this one. Oh, Amber said, oh, that's how I ended up with blue fingers without using the ink. You forgot about the chamois. Oh, from the chamois. Yes. Yes, that's where you would have got it from. Sorry, Amber. All right. So now we've got that on there. All right, so that looks really great. I'm really happy with the colors I've got in there. So now what we can do is we can, while that's still in place, I'm going to clean this off again. And I want to, yes, because this is the chamois amber. It's got all the blue, and I had folded it back that way and held it like that, and all that ink, which I've just used this morning, is all loose on there. So that's why I ended up with inky fingers, and that's why you would have to. I'll give it a good clean after I finish. I'm just going to ink off that excess ink first onto some scrap paper before I clean it on my chamois. There we go. But I don't want to remove it yet because I want to do a bit of clear embossing powder over the top of that after I do a little bit of colour fill. So just make sure that we get this nice and clean now, because we're going to be putting Versamark on there, and you certainly don't want to end up with a blue Versamark ink pad. I've done that before. Well, not with blue, but with black. Sorry about the squeakiness. Amber is a Smurf too. Yes. Well, yes, we're both Smurfs with blue fingers. All right, there we go. Now I understand your reference to the Smurf, Tina. Blue fingers. Yes. Okay. So now what we can do is we can come in with a little bit of balmy blue. Now I'm going to see how much I've got left on my dauber from earlier before I re-ink that. And I'll actually just test it first on scrap. Okay, I don't think I've got much in there. So what we can do is we grab out the Balmy. Oop. So I'd use one of the lighter colors to fill in if you're filling in. Either Balmy or Misty Moonlight. And before you put any color in here with your dauber, dab it off onto your scrap paper first to remove any harsh inkiness. That's very technical, I know. But otherwise what will happen is you'll get like a dab of color. And you can just color that, the rest of that wave in. Now, if you wanted to leave it with the white, that's fine. You can do that because that'll look like, you know, the white foam in the wave. I'm just filling it in with a little bit of color. Now that's looking a little bit light, so I might do a little bit with Misty Moonlight. And look, I'm stepping this project up quite a bit. You don't have to be, well, it doesn't have to be this complicated with this stamp. You can simply stamp it in one color and leave it at that, and it would still be beautiful because you've got all of that detail in the actual stamp itself. But I'm just showing you how you can add some extra colors to it to really give it more depth if you want to, but you don't have to do that. There we go. That's looking good now. All right, awesome. Good. So we've got some more coloring, more depth of color in there. How about if we add a little bit of, might just add a little bit of Pacific. I'll just check that on my paper first. Yeah, it's quite bright. So we'll just add a little bit of Pacific here and there. There we go. Cool. I like that. There we go. So if you want a lighter colored wave, then you could have stopped with the Misty Moonlight. I just want to add a little bit more depth there. So all good. All right, so now we can add our clear embossing powder. So we're going to use our Versamark ink pad. And this is my new one. So this is why I definitely wanted to have a clean stamp before I use this, because I don't want to get any blue. I hope I don't get any blue on my new Versamark ink pad. I was very organized. I even wrote the date on the back. I opened this one on the 25th of February this year. My other one was getting a little bit icky. All right, so then we're going to stamp that over the top, and then we've still got that in place with our magnets. So give that a good firm press. All right, now we are ready to remove this. And we're going to put some clear embossing powder over the top of that. And the reason we're going to do that is because it's going to make it nice and shiny. Okay, so move my stamp set. I've just got 2 sheets of regular photocopy paper that I use sort of as my catcher and my funnel. Make sure I pick up my clear. Make sure you pick up your clear, not your white, because the labels look the same. And after you've done all that inking work, you don't want to ruin it by putting white embossing powder on it. Okay, so then we'll just tap off the excess. Where's my paintbrush? Use the back of a paintbrush just to tap all the excess off. It's not a good idea to blow on your embossing powder because 1, you can blow all of this away as well and make a big mess. And 2, you can actually blow too much of the embossing away. So you don't want to be doing that. Now, one thing I did just realize is the extra ink that I just added hadn't dried yet. So it'd be interesting to see how this is going to look because it's going to pick up that as well as the detail. I just realized that. That's okay. Let's see how this looks. All right, so I just need to unplug my phone, plug in my heat tool. So I've only got 2 plugs right here at my desk. All right. So we'll just heat that up for a minute. So yeah, so the whole thing is going to end up, yeah, probably should have added that ink later, but that's okay. We'll see how this looks. All right, so just heat that up for a few moments, and then we're going to start at this side. And once that embossing powder melts and becomes glossy, then start moving your heat tool to a different section. Oh, actually, it might be okay. Well, we have got a bit more depth of, yeah, we've got more detail where I restamped that image in Versamark. Oh, so that's awesome. That's turned out really well, actually. Okay, so you just heat it until it's melted. You don't want to overheat it because it will become dull and flat and you'll lose that glossiness. So just heat that. Oh, that looks awesome. That turned out really well. Very happy with that. Can you see, is the light picking up the embossing on that? Can you see that under the light there? It's hard to see on camera, but it's, yeah, it's all glossy. Looks pretty cool. Love that. Awesome. Great. Alrighty, inky fingers. I will go back and clean my wave stamp afterwards, but that's just an idea to show you how to get all that depth of color and then make your wave nice and shiny as well using that clear embossing powder. Okay. Let's check in comments. Okay, no other comments. All good. All right. So now what we can do is we can create our background if you want to create a sunset. So if you wanted to just use that and just add that onto your card with some layers, you know, add a sentiment, add some bling, add some of your birds, that's totally fine. If you wanted to create a sunset like this, then this is where the mask will come into it, and we can create that. So let's do that. Let's create the mask. Now, I just wanted to have a look at my mask, and I wanted to adjust my mask a little bit because I feel like this part of the wave here needs to be a little bit more sort of pointed rather than rounded. So I just wanted to adjust my mask a little bit there. There, that will be good. All right, so then, whoops, get that little bit of paper off there. We can pop our mask down. So we've cut that just, let me do that again. It's not going to adhere as well because we've got the embossing powder on there now. There we go. And I've got that a little bit high. I'll bring that down a little bit and over a little bit. There we go. All right, yeah, because we've got the embossing powder on there, the embossing powder on there now. It's got like a slick finish, so the mask isn't going to hold as well. So what you can do is you can bring in a little bit of washi tape and actually just washi tape that down if you want to. I'll bring that down a little bit further away from my doodah up there. You know my doodah, my link. There we go. So we can just hold that in place there like so. And then we can add the colors. So I think I'll just go back to my original colors, which were Pumpkin Pie, Bumblebee, and Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to leave out the purple because I think I really ruined it adding the purple. So we'll just use those three colors. They're quite similar. Well, the orange obviously isn't, the pumpkin pie, but the two yellows, they end up quite similar. Oh, actually, what did we use last time? Bumblebee. I might go Mango Melody and Daffodil. I might use Pumpkin Pie, Mango Melody, and Daffodil for the background. All right, so we'll start first with the pumpkin pie down the bottom. Now, when you're doing this with your blending brushes, load up your blending brush with your pumpkin pie and then tap it off or rub it off a little bit onto scrap paper first, and then that way you won't get a harsh blob of color. And it's a good idea to start off the paper first and then bring your colour in. Remember to do inside your wave there as well. So I'm just holding that mask down. So that we get some colour there. Okay. So we're creating this sunset, or it could be a sunrise. Sunset or sunrise, I'm not sure which it is, one or the other. Okay, and then we'll change brushes and we'll go with Mango Melody. Actually, my two brushes, oh, I think I used the wrong one actually. I think that was the pumpkin pie one, and I think I had the Mango Melody brush on my pumpkin pie. So I'll just give that a bit of a rub off to clean that pumpkin pie ink, because I want to use that on Mango Melody. That's my darker brush. My brushes, getting my brushes and my daubers all mixed up today. What's happening? All right, so just get that excess ink off that brush before we use it on the mango. Wait, is this one mango? Yes. Yes, yes, this one's mango. All right, so this one's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit lighter than the pumpkin pie. Depends which side of Australia you're on. For us, it is sunrise. Okay, so I'm creating the sunrise. Very true. It does depend on which side of Australia you're on, because the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. And it depends if you're on the east coast or the west coast. We are on the east coast. Well, I'm on the east coast. Okay, so blend those colours in a little bit. I might come back in with a little bit more pumpkin pie to make that a little bit deeper at the bottom there, and blend that up into the Mango Melody. Get that bit in there too. Okay, so we can see, not sure how that comes up on camera, but we've got a little bit of variation in the colours there. Bring in a little bit more of the mango. We'll take that up just a little bit higher, and then we'll do some daffodil. Okay, and then we'll do some daffodil. Let me move that one up. Certainly do not want to be taking those orange brushes into my Daffodil Delight ink, because then that would make a big mess. So I've got my daffodil brush. Now also too, where I've got all this ink on the paper, in case that's not dry, you have to be careful that you don't put this brush down into that, because you might pick that colour up. So I'm going to take my daffodil over to this side and ink it off on the opposite side. There we go. So now we're getting a nice depth of colour there. So it is just a process. Like, we are doing lots of colouring today, doing lots of colouring techniques in our project today, which is awesome. Now I haven't actually trimmed down the height of this yet, so I will need to still do that. Oh, hey Leslie. Leslie says it looks fabulous. Thank you. We'll blend that down. There we go. And then we'll bring back in a little bit of mango. We'll just blend that back up into the daffodil a little bit there, just so we don't have any distinct lines between the two colours. There we go. And a little bit more pumpkin pie is needed down here. And I'll blend that up into there. There we go. All right, so that's not looking too bad. So then if we remove our wave, we can see how it is looking. Actually, let me just bring a little bit more of the daffodil just in up here. All right, now all of this ink on this cardstock is going to be a little bit wet for a little bit. Okay, so just be careful when you're handling it, because you're going to get inky fingers like me. My fingers will turn orange now probably instead of blue, although the blue, I'll still have blue undertones because, you know, it's going to be hard to get rid of that. I'm going to need to scrub them when I'm finished. Alrighty. Okay, I think we'll leave it at that. You get the idea. You get the general idea. All right, we'll close up all these inks. Using lots of different colours today, aren't we? Using the warm colours and the cool colours. Okie dokies. So I'll just go back over those colours again. That was Daffodil Delight, Mango Melody and Pumpkin Pie, if you're wanting to know which colours I used. All right, and now we'll remove our mask to show our wave. Awesome. And we're going to trim this down now. So I'm going to take this off. Actually, I'll leave that extra washi tape on there. I'm going to pop this inside the front cover of my case. So I've got that there to use for future projects. Okay, so don't throw that out. Saves you recreating it again. Okay, now I'll trim this down first before I stamp my birds and everything. Ordinarily, I would wait for that ink to dry. In fact, you know what we can do? We can hit it with a little bit of heat tool just on our number 1 setting, which is our drying setting, just to dry that ink a little bit before we put it in the heat tool, in the trimmer. So otherwise we're going to get orange and yellow ink all over our trimmer. Now if it starts to curl up a little bit, you can turn it over. Okay, that'll help to flatten it back out again. Now I'm avoiding reheating the wave because that's got the embossing powder on it. We don't want to remelt that embossing powder because we're going to lose that shine if we do that. Okay, so we don't want to do too much. We don't want to overheat it. All right, there we go. So it may look a little bit curly, but it'll flatten out. So don't panic, everybody. Don't panic. All right, so I'm going to trim down just the edge. I didn't have that lined up quite well on the Stamparatus, so I didn't stamp right on that edge. So I'm going to trim that down just a tad. There we go. So that's right on the edge. And then I'm going to trim down this other edge where that wave ends. So there we go. So we'll trim that down there. Good. And then I'm going to trim down the height as well. So let's see, what width did we actually end up with there? So we've ended up with, so I'll need to know that when I'm cutting my layers, we've got 13.5. It's not quite 13.1. Oh, it's about 13.1. I need to write that down because I need to cut my layers. So it's 13.1 centimeters wide. Yep. All right. And then for my height, let's see. What do we want? I think I might go 8.7. If I go 8.7, I'm taking off a lot of that, aren't I? You know what? Before I do that, I'm going to measure that on a standard card base to see what size I'm going to want. I'm going to start with a Misty Moonlight. Oh, sorry, Misty Moonlight. Night of Navy card base. I may change my mind, but I just want to see. Oh, 8.8 should give you an even border. Thank you, Amber. See, Amber is awesome. She always has all the measurements. She's my measurement girl. All right, so if we do it that way, Yeah, so that's going to have a wide border, but we're going to add some designer series paper. So if we wanted to have an even border, yeah, so we want 8.8 centimeters. So 8.8, there we go. So we are going to be taking off a fair bit of that yellow at the top. I probably should have trimmed that down before I did the coloring, but it's okay. That's okay. We've got a little bit of yellow still at the top. There we go. So I'll write that down by 8.8. Pop that over there. That's an 8, not a 6. All right, so there's our piece. Yeah, so I did chop off most of the yellow. We've still got a little bit of yellow there. But yeah, I wasn't sure about all my measurements before I started, but that's okay. Still looks great. Okay, so we've got a card base of Night of Navy, and I'm just going to burnish that with my bone folder to give a nice crisp fold. And now comes the fun part. Oh, let's stamp some little birdies on there. So we've got these cute little birds. Now it's only a single bird stamp, so we can stamp as many as we want. On my original sample, I think I had, what did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see how many we want. We also need a spot still for our sentiment, so maybe what we need to work out first is our sentiment label. I know which sentiment I want to use, so I think I'm going to just grab my die. Oh, hang on a minute. Yep. I'm going to see where I want my die first. Okay, so I think I'm going to put my die up there with my sentiment. Yep, I'll put my die over that side with my sentiment. So I'm going to stamp the birds on this side. So if I just lay that there, I'll be able to see roughly where that's going to go. And I'm just going to stamp a few of these birds over this side. In fact, I might only want 3. I might leave it at 3 for now. And we'll do our sentiment label. Okay, so we'll stamp him off, give him a little clean. Such a cute little birdie stamp. All right, so we can do the sentiment stamp next, and then we can layer this all up on our project. All right, so I keep on looking at my fingers. Hang on, I'm going to get some baby wipes and just wipe my fingers because I'm worried I'm going to transfer this ink. Oh, Amber said maybe check on the calculator. Oh, I've already cut it, Amber, so I'm just trusting you. Oh, Tina Marie said from Smurf to Oompa Loompa. Yes, from the blues to the oranges. In fact, I don't think I even got any orange on myself in the end. All I can see is blue. So still Smurf. It's all good. But how cool is that looking now? Look, I'm just looking at it back on the camera, and I think with all those colors in that wave, that's looking super awesome. Really happy with how that turned out. All right, sentiment label. Oh, do we do that on Night of Navy and white, emboss it in white, or do we do it on white, a white label? Oh, the choices. Oh, the choices. Well, we could do both, couldn't we? And then see which one we like. We could. All right, I'll just cut a piece of cardstock first. I think I'm going to stamp it in Night of Navy though on this colour. Although we've got the black with the birds, but we'll keep with the Night of Navy theme. Night of Navy ink on white. Oh, good choice, Amber. That's what I picked out. And I'm going to stamp this one here. Your strength is an inspiration. Because I know a lot of really strong women, and I think I want to send this card to one of them. All right. Okay. So we'll ink that up in Night of Navy. Beautiful. Oh, actually, is that, let me just test that. I'll do it again. I just want to check to see, is that supposed to be, oh yeah, okay. So it is a little bit, I might get another piece. I don't know, I'm not happy with how that's stamped. I just wanted to check because I wasn't sure if it was meant to be a bit of a distressed looking font or if it was just that I didn't have enough ink on my stamp. Oh, it is kind of a little bit distressed. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure I didn't do a dodgy with my stamping just then, because, you know, it's quite possible today because I am a Smurf, so you never know. Clean that one off. Wow, my chamois is going to need an absolute scrub today, and it was my brand new chamois. It hardly had any ink on it before today. Never mind, it's all good. All right, so I'm going to bring in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. 20% off at the moment. It's reduced down to only $83. And it comes with all the plates that you need and the adapter plates for your embossing as well. Embossing both ordinary embossing folders and 3D embossing folders. So I'm starting with the base plate number 1, number 2 plate, and I'm just staggering them back a little bit, which helps them feed through the machine. And I'm going to pop my die over my sentiment there, and I'm just going to, I know it's not lined up just yet, I'm just going to use a little bit of washi tape to hold that in place. So I'll line this up first before I put it on my plate. And I know it's not stamped straight on the cardstock. It's throwing my eye a little bit. Okay, so we'll just adhere that down. There we go. And remember too, that if you are a demonstrator, so if you're not already a demonstrator, consider joining. If you're a demonstrator, you get your demonstrator discount on top of any other promotion. So this is $83 currently, reduced to $83 for customers, but if you're a demonstrator, you get your discount on top of that too. So consider that. And the other thing is too, you can even pop this at the discounted price into your starter kit. So another great reason to join right now while the mini is on sale, because it might not happen again. They don't usually reduce the die cutting machines, so it's a super awesome special right now. Okay, so there's our nice little label. Like that label. I love the shape of it. Isn't it awesome? Really love that. I'm going to put that straight back onto my die sheet so I don't lose it. Okay. Where was that? That was around this one, this cloud here somewhere, I think. Somewhere there. Yep, there we go. Okie dokie. So let's have a look and see. Oh, that's very stark white. I think we need a bit of inking around the edges of this one. You know, I love my inking, my daubering. Now, what color? Oh, I think Misty. Because Night of Navy, I don't know, Night of Navy might be a little bit dark. We can always go over it with Night of Navy if we don't like the Misty. So we'll use a little bit of Misty Moonlight just to go around the edges of our sentiment label, just to tie in the color a little bit, soften those white edges. And you all know that I love to ink the edges of my sentiments. I think it's a Mandy thing, really. Oopsie, went a little bit heavy just there, but that's okay. It's distressed. It's very distressed. It's all right, little one. Don't be distressed. There we go. Okay, awesome. So then that is going to go on there like so. That's going to be so cool. Okay. And then what we need is, let's have a look. What have we got? We've got all different sorts of ribbon here. Just wondering, how would that look if I used some of that? No, I don't like that. I think we're going to need to use twine, baker's twine. Oh, and I've got my birds there now. So my idea was to run it across there, but I'm going to be going across my birds if I do that, aren't I? I like this one, the crumb cake colour. This is the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. You get the 5 colours in the pack, which is awesome. I've been using this a lot lately, actually. And I've still got heaps left in the packet. So it's a Baker's Twine Essential Pack. And I was thinking of doing something like this. I don't know if it's going to work now because I've got the birds at the other end. And I was going to thread it through, back through, and then wrap that around the edges there. I don't know, because then if I did it on the other end, it's going to go over my birdies, isn't it? Anyway, we'll come back to that bit. We won't attach that just yet. We'll wait until we work out the background. All right, let's bring in the beautiful, I think we might do some foil sheet and some designer series paper, but let's choose the designer series paper first. Oh, what did Amber say? Then you'll be able to use the embellishment on the label. Oh yes, the beautiful, the blingy bling bling, the rhinestone waves. Yes, we'll definitely use some of that on there. All right, so now we've got to choose colors. So no, that could be nice. So that's an option. Not that one. Oh, that one. Oh, that one. Might be that one. That one's an option. We've also got some sunsetty ones. Not the greeny. Not the greeny one. Not that one. There's that one. I could use the darker side of that one. Not vibing that as much as the first two. We've got that if we want to bring in, the, if you wanted to bring in or highlight the sunset or sunrise, as Tina said, colours, you could use this one in the background. I think I want to go with the blues. Then there's this one. This is the one that looks like the whale and the dolphin. That could be nice too. There's so many different, because of the pattern on the designer series paper, like you could use different portions of it and it would look different every time. All right, that's a contender. And then that's another yellowy base one. Yeah, no, I think I want to still go with the blue ones. This one's got a bit much green in it for what we've created. Yeah, okay. So we've narrowed it down to 3. Move these ones out of the way. So much going on my desk today, oh my goodness. I should take a photo afterwards and then post it and show you exactly what my desk looks like right now. You might be shocked. So we've got these 3, that's of all the blues and the white tones. And now we have to work out, hang on a sec, let me just move my orangey yellowy inks out of the way. So now we have to work out which one of these is going to go the best with our wave. This one's got more depth of colour, more of the deeper colours in it. This one's got more of the lighter or the brighter. Hang on a minute. I need to move my blending brushes, otherwise I'm going to end up with ink all over everything. This one's got more whitey. Oh, I like that part. I like that part up there. That looks nice up there. Well, there's this one. So hard to choose. They're all so beautiful. Okay, I'm thinking not this one. I'm thinking this one or this one. Deep blue whale paper. This one? This is our deep blue whale paper. This is what we call, Amber and I call this one. Amber likes this one. Yeah, I think that'll pick up the deep blues in the wave. I think that would look really nice. Okay, Amber's choice. Nola says, why not hang one end of the label? Yeah, that's an option too. Yeah, we'll get to that when now I usually cut my designer series paper in half at 6 by 12. But I don't even know where to start cutting this one yet. I think I want to use this upper corner. What do you think? What do you think? Let's bring it down onto there. This upper corner. We're going to have a little bit of foil behind there too. It's going to put a little bit of the foil for a bit of a border. So we've got some beautiful foil there. We'll just have a little bit of a blue foil border. And that'll break up the orange to the blue. But how would that look? That would be nice. We're just doing simple borders today, people, because we've got so much going on in this image. We don't really need too much else. Might need a white matte layer between your focal image and the DSP rather than the blue. Or could we do white, then blue, then blue? We could. Okay, let's have a little look at the white matte layer. If we had just a little tiny white matte layer, and then we had blue, the blue foil. Just want to add a little bit of that blue foil in, and then that, how would that look? Would that look good? And that white does border the that image, and it breaks up that yellow a little bit, that sunset. How about that? What are we thinking, people? What are we vibing? We vibing that? I need to work out the size of all these layers, but that's okay. We can work that out from the base. And then that would be our base there, like so. That would be like that, white under the blue foil. Okay, so break up the foil and the blue paper. See, this is why Amber is my assistant. She's also my color consultant. She always knows what looks good. She is a graphic designer by trade, so, well, she's qualified. I shouldn't say by trade as such, but she's a qualified graphic designer. So she has a great eye for color and pattern and things like that. So when I get stuck, I always ask for her opinion. Yeah, that's better. I think you're right, Amber. Yeah. The white does help to break that up a little bit. Yeah, it makes that really pop. And it makes that, to make one less layer, you could have the DSP as the whole card front size. Yes, that's an idea too. We could. That would look awesome also. Actually, that would look even more awesome. See, she's so clever. Yes, I think that looks good. Yep, let's do that. That looks awesome. All right, so let's cut this designer series paper first. Oh, I'm going to chop my pretty paper, but you know, we've got to chop it. Because we can't use it if we don't chop it, and we need to use it. It is chopped. Now, I'm going to create a piece that is the same size as the card front. Or in fact, do I want to go that way? Which way? Hang on a sec. Now I'm changing up the colours. Because if that was that way. Oh, I really wanted to have that piece up there. I should have cut it a different orientation. That's okay. Don't look, Amber. She'll be saying, Mum, what are you doing? That's all right. It's not going to go to waste. It'll get used. All right. So we are cutting. All right. So I've just cut this piece at exactly the same size as that card base. So it's 14.85 by 10.5. Okay. And that's going to fit the full card front there. So we can start with adhering that down first before we do anything else. How gorgeous is that paper? Oh, so it looks like a galaxy as well, couldn't it? It could be a night galaxy, a night sky. galaxy. You could use it, doesn't have to be water. It could be like for a space themed card or something. So beautiful. Could have cut the other piece. Could have cut the other piece of the same pattern in the other direction. Oh yeah, could have. Doesn't matter. It's done now. It's all good. All right, so I'm going to stand my card up on its end. It's two ends to make sure that that fits and is, not to make sure that it fits, I know that it fits, to make sure that it's lined up is what I meant to say. And then we can press that down. The texture in the water actually makes me think of the moon on your white embossed navy cardstock sample. Yeah, I thought that too actually when I put this down onto, once I'd cut it and I put that down, I thought, yeah, it would go really well with that one as well. Maybe I'll have to do that as my other project after we finish, not today. I don't even know where my sample is now. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, that would go nice with that paper too, with that one. Yeah, but we need to trim that down and add matte layers and stuff. So we'll worry about that later. All right. So now we need to work out our other layers. Now this is a tricky thing because I haven't prepped this ahead of time. Let me see how much space I have. All right, we don't want our matte layers to be too big because we don't want to take away from that beautiful paper. So I'm going to do, let's see, I think I'll just do I'll do a 3mm or a 2mm border of that. We don't want to take up too much. What have we got there? Let's see. Let's get the ruler out. Where's my good ruler? Amber, did you take my good ruler? Oh, there it is. It's in a different different holder. What have we got? 1, 2. That's 2mm. All right, we might do a 2mm border of the Night of Navy foil. So what was that piece again? That was 13.1 by 8.8, I think. Let's see, yep, 13.1 by 8.8. So that means we need to add 4 millimeters onto that. So we want 13.5 by 9.2. Yep, okay. So that's how we're going to cut our foil. So first of all, I'll actually bring that in. I'll bring my trimmer in. And we're going to cut that in half at 6 inches. This gives me an easier working piece. And then we're going to cut this at 9.2. 9.2. Oh, cut, not score. 9.2, and then we want 13.5. 13.5. There we go. Now don't throw away your little strips because you can use them on other projects. They're not wasted. Okay, so let's have a look now at our layer. Beautiful. So that gives us a little 2mm border of that gorgeous, you could have even gone 3mm actually, of that beautiful foil, which just gives you that little bit of shine and shimmer. And then we're going to want a little bit of a white border. So we might just add another little 2mm border of the white, or maybe 1.5. Maybe we'll add a 1.5mm border. So we need to add on 3 millimeters total. So it'll be 13.8 by 9.5. Boy, doing the maths today. So we'll go 9.5. So if you want my measurements, this is the focal piece. This was the foil. This is the white, and then the DSP was 14.85 by 10.5. DSP. So if you want to know the measurements, I've basically worked that out as we've been going. So that's your focal image, your focal piece. Then you've got your foil, your white layer, and the DSP. So if you want to grab a screenshot, if you want to recreate this and you need the measurements, there's your measurements there. Okay. All right. So what are we doing? We're doing we're doing 9.5. Yep, by 13.8. 13.8. And that's just going to give us a little 1 millimeter border. Oh, I'm hot. Hot, hot, hot. And then that way we're not going to cover up too much of that paper. We're still going to see, we're covering up a fair bit of it, but we're still going to see it around the edges there. Okay, so we'll line that up. Yep, that's a nice little border. If you wanted to, you could trim down your focal image and then just trim down all the other pieces as well. But oh, that's going to look really good. Look at that. That's going to look awesome. And then we're going to have our sentiment on there too. That's going to be cool. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to layer these three up together. Then we're going to decide on the sentiment and the trim. So I am going to use my, the glue should be okay. I was just thinking I don't want the glue to show through the white, but we've got all the colour on there, so I don't think it will. Sometimes if you're using basic white cardstock and you're using this glue, if you've got like all these streaky bits, they can actually show through, not show through, but they sort of look a bit lumpy under the cardstock. But if you've got a lot going on the front, then you don't notice it. But if it's a full piece of white, then sometimes you can tell that you've used the glue rather than a tape. So sometimes when I'm working with white, I prefer to use the either tear and tape or Stampin' Seal to adhere it. But we've got so much going on the front of this one, I don't think we're going to see that glue. All right, and the glue does give us that opportunity to line everything up and we get that little bit of wiggle room. Gorgeous. All right, so now this time it doesn't matter because we've got layers upon layers. Get a bit in those corners, don't want those corners lifting up. We're going to go down onto our white matte layer. So this has been a bit of a long live today, but I've been having so much fun with this stamp set. We haven't even got to the dies yet. I think with the dies we're going to have to play with them another day because I don't think we're going to have time today. All right, so that's going to be awesome. And we're going to pop that up onto dimensionals. Now, we've got to decide about the sentiment here. I'll pop that up, but I need to decide on trim. Now, I don't even know if I want that color now. I'm thinking either the white or the white. Oh, actually, you know what else I've got? I've got balmy blue and silver. The balmy blue and silver might even work. But if I'm going to take it out that way, yeah, I don't know if this idea is going to work that I originally had because I've stamped my birds there. I forgot about my twine. So let's just see if I do go out that way. I have two strands. I've got extra strands here, but we'll have two strands that will go out across there, across the birds. Oh, it's going to hide my birds. All right, so we won't do that. We won't do that. Yeah, that bow was my next idea. Baker's twine bow hanging down from the bottom of the sentiment to fill the line of the blank space. Oh, I got another idea. What if we did this? Don't know how this will look, but we can give it a go. Oh, my blue fingers. What if we had something like that and then we mounted that up? How would that look? What do you think? We could do that, or we could do just some of the white, or we could do the natural linen trim as well. This might be a bit heavy. So we've got that. That goes nicely because it's the blue. But if we did it with this, oops, might take away from the wave too much. Yeah, maybe. It's a bit heavy, isn't it? What if we sort of had the white behind it, sort of like that, rather than hanging down, but just had the white behind it? Oh, it looks like the roll of the wave. Yeah. What if we had something like that? You know what else we could do? We could separate some of the strands from this twine too and just have it less thick. You like the white twine, Fee? Okay, so we could have, actually let's just get some length of this. I'll cut some length of that. And, oopsie, can separate some twine. I used to do this when I used to do cross stitch, and you'd only need 2 strands or 3 strands, and you'd separate it. I don't know if this is going to separate as easily as embroidery thread because it's woven a bit differently, but I just thought this might be an idea. It might work. It might work, but then again it might not too. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Doesn't seem to want to separate as easily as I had hoped. Hang on a sec. I'm pulling from the other end. No, it doesn't want to separate as I was hoping it would. Ah, well that's a shame because that would have been good. All right, I'll have to deal with that later, I think. I don't think that's going to work. Oh, hang on a minute, maybe. Getting some out the other end. Nah, it's breaking. Oh, well, it doesn't separate as easily as embroidery floss. Let me just say, it's woven quite well, which is a good thing because then it won't fall apart on us, will it? Yeah, if I kept on with it, that would probably work, but I think it's going to take too long. What do you think? Best laid plans, hey? Best laid plans. Oh dear. Yeah, oh, I'm getting myself into a big tangled mess here. It's actually not gonna, I don't think it's gonna work as I'd hoped to. Come on, twine. Work with me. Work with me, please. Oh, okay, we got one thread out. Hang on, let's see if we can get this other one out. Oh, we might be on a onto a thing here, onto a good thing. It's working. Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Yay, I did it. I just needed a little bit of patience. Okay, so now I've got 2 strands of that baker's twine. Oh, I've got 2 and a bit actually. There's kind of 3. 2 and a bit because the other one's coming out, so it's not as thick. All right, so let's wind that around now. And that's a little bit more, or we could use the other 2 single strands and put those back together. That might be better because it'd be finer. I just don't want it too heavy because I don't want it to take away from that wave. There we go. So we got 2 strands here. So there you go. So they do separate if you just are patient and take your time with it. And then we'll just need to make them look, sorry, I went a bit quiet then for a sec. Need to make them look like they're a little bit sort of messy looking. You don't want them too even. They need to look like they're a little bit of a little bit messy, sort of separate those fibers a little bit. Something like that, something like that. Okay, so we're getting closer. So I think we're on to something now. Let's go around again. So we can just separate those fibers. I kind of want it more sort of rectangle-ish to be under here, but still sitting out a little bit. Oops. How would that be? Something like that. What do you think? Yes? Okay, well, I think we can attach this down because we're not going to be wrapping any ribbon around that now. So let's add some dimensionals to that, and then we can fiddle with the label, and then we can add our beautiful bling. Oops. Oh, I missed the actual Stampin' Dimensional. I just picked off the backing of that other one. That was a bit silly. All right, so what's everybody else creating today? I know that Fee was working on her next class projects. Anybody else still crafting along? We've probably lost a few because I think it's dinner time now for a lot of people, but that's okay. They might want to come back and watch the replay to see what our project ended up looking like in the end. All right, so pop that up onto dimensional so that we lift that up off that beautiful paper. And that just adds to the effect of the wave as well. There we go. We're going to put this twine down with some glue dots to hold that in place. So I'll grab some glue dots for that. In fact, actually, wait, I'm going to put my dimensionals onto the back of my sentiment first, and then I'm going to, ooh, Tina is mass producing labels for her charity cards. Ah, awesome. Very good. And Leslie's preparing dinner while she's watching me. Ah, that's good. Well, I'm glad that you are able to still multitask, Leslie. You're still able to stay with us while I'm still creating and finishing off our card here. Yeah, that'll be good. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue dot on those ends there to hold them in place. Let's pop a little bit under there. Hold them there. I'll put that one down on top. Stay there, you. There we go. And then once our sentiment goes down, that'll hold the rest of that. We can actually pop a little glue dot. Oops. I can pop a little glue dot under that edge there. That's just going to hide underneath the tag. Just to hold that there in place. And maybe under this little edge here too. Just to make sure that twine's not going to come undone and come back off the card. We don't want that to happen, so I'll just pop a little bit under here as well. There we go. And then we'll just make sure that our tag goes down, whoops, up the right way over where those glue dots are. Just manipulate our twine a little bit there. There, that'll be pretty good. All right, so we'll remove our backings from our embellishments. You know what I mean. Our dimensionals, getting carried away here. And then we're just going to pop that down like so. In fact, that could have been up a little bit higher, but that's okay. It's all good. We'll leave it where it is for now. And then you can manipulate your twine. I think that was good to separate those fibers and have it a little bit finer. And now let's add some of that gorgeous bling. Oh my goodness, where are we going to put this now? Oh, and which colors do we use? So many decisions to make. So many choices. Oh, I love the, let's see. I think we only need little ones on our sentiment label. Let's use some of the Night of Navy ones, and I had to use it right from the middle, didn't I, rather than from up the top. I'll just put one there, I think, and then let's use some of the other colors. There, and what if we use a light one? I keep grabbing them from the middle. So naughty. There. Blingy bling bling. There we go. I think with those rhinestones you could really put them anywhere and it would still look awesome. So I've got the 3 different colors there, probably a little bit hard to see on camera. You could even use a larger one there instead of that small one. We could change that and have a slightly larger one, so we've got 3 different sizes. Let's do that. Let's put that one back. We'll grab, this is one of the Coastal Cabana ones. I think maybe that one in the big is too bright. If we go with, yeah, that one. That's the one. There we go. And we've got a dark one up there, so you could, yeah, you can have a range of the different colors, or you can have them all the same color. Totally up to you. But there you go. Finished. That was a mammoth effort, that one, wasn't it? But I really love how that turned out. And we'll have to have a play with the dies on another project. Helen says she's had dinner while watching. Oh, because it's nearly 8:30 there. That's right. You're 2 hours ahead. I always forget that you guys are 2 hours ahead over there in New Zealand. I'm just checking back to see if I missed anything. Don't think I did, but there you go. So I think that turned out really beautiful. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, awesome. All right, well, let me tip the camera back up and I will say goodbye to you all and let you get on with your evening, and I'll have to go and make some dinner soon too. All right, bear with me and I'll just cover up the camera for a moment and I'll do a little flippity flip. Here we go. Okay, so we'll flip, oh, flip, flip. I don't know if I flipped that. Oh, upside down. I thought I hit the button and then I thought, did I actually hit the button? And I hit it again. I was upside down. Oh, so anyway, there we go. So all finished. I think that turned out really beautifully. I'm very happy with that. I think the time that we took to put into that really paid off. Yes, it was a little bit more of a time-consuming project, but look how beautiful that turned out. And you can see, if I can hold that in the right direction, you see how that wave is glistening with that embossing powder. That top coat of embossing powder just made a difference. And you got that beautiful foil. Very happy with that. I might need to keep that one and make a second one to give away. So thank you all so much for being with me today. Remember to grab those Waves of the Ocean products. They're absolutely gorgeous. Make sure you grab those ones that we were using today. And remember that the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and there's 13 die and stamp and die bundles as well that are on special for 20% discount with the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Not including these ones because these are a special promotion. So, but if there's anything that I can help you with, if you have any questions, if you would like to ask me any questions as well about joining and getting a fantastic discount on your Stampin' Up products, as well as joining our wonderful crafting community where we have lots of fun and friendship together, then please drop me a line, let me know, get in contact with me. All my contact details you'll find up in my bio. Or I will add them to the link here on YouTube as well. So hope you have a great week. I look forward to seeing you all again next week, and we might have a quicker project for you next week. Oh, Leslie said I would not have the patience with the twine as you. I would put some sunbeams. Oh, some sunbeams. That would look beautiful, Leslie. Yes. Some sunbeams. That's another great idea too. Yeah. So, oh, everyone's loving it. Fantastic. Fee says, oh, wow. Tina says, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And so is the card. You're very kind. Thank you. Fee said, oh, beautiful. Oh, good. I'm glad you all loved it. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end. As I said, hopefully we'll have a quicker project for you for next week, but I think it was worth the time. What do you think? Do you think it was worth it? Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to seeing you all again next Monday at 4 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, happy crafting, everyone. Bye.